right, so now let's move on and let's talk about Valentina, whose smile will always be beautiful. So yeah, let's talk about fan favorite Valentina, who a couple of months ago came out as trans finally. After there's been many rumors going on regarding her actually being trans, she has come out and said that she is a trans woman, and now she's recently speaking out on that. She says that I will be taking my time to transition into the beautiful butterfly that she was destined to become. So the drag performer publicly identified as a trans woman for the first time on her 34th birthday in May. At the time, she posted on Instagram, I felt pressure to come forward, so I've decided and wanted to take today to declare myself as a transgender woman. Valentina was first seen on season 9 of Drag Race in 2017 before returning for All Stars 4 in the following year and went on to host spinoff Drag Race Mexico. In 2019, she identified as non binary and then said she struggled with suicidal thoughts while questioning her gender identity. Speaking of Spanish LGBTQ outlet Shanghai recently, Valentina opened up about her transition, which she began to explore in earnest after the death of her father, saying, I used to identify as non-binary person, although I have always been a woman, she said, but I kept an image that my father could understand and respect. Once he died, Valentina felt ready to show all my femininity. She delayed starting hormone treatment because of her job on Drag Race Mexico's opening season, saying I didn't want to see myself in another country recording on a set in Spanish and going crazy about the effects they could have. Having been on hormones now for 18 months, Valentina was at a stage of metamorphosis in which I am building the woman of my dreams, but the butterfly hasn't come out yet. She went on to say that she's going to transition slowly because I felt it should be that way, adding, there is too much social pressure for you to be the person of your dreams overnight. I'm still a trans baby. Now, she said, we need more representation, especially from trans women. For example, for those who live in Latin America who generally do not have the same privileges as me, we must continue to educate people. Now, earlier this year, she said she had matured enough for a return to All Stars after coming out as trans. And I definitely would love to see her on RuPaul's Drag Race in the future. I actually like this idea she spoke out on this because one of the things I realize is that there seems to be a lot of the reasons why a lot of people don't either fully come out or find love in relationship because or even transition because it's like you're living for your parents. You're living for you don't want to disappoint your parents. And I remember there was a period in my life where I was like that too. It's like, well, I prevented myself from giving full on love in relationships to other people because I feared and I worried about what other people in my family thought, particularly my parents or whatever the case is. So we've come a long way since then, but for the most part, it's just like I've always kind of felt that way. So I could totally understand like what Valentina's going through, especially when you're dealing with coming out as gay and then you're non-binary, but you've always felt deep down inside that you're a trans woman. But then, you do hear from some people where it's like they can accept you being gay, but please don't go over and become a woman. Or play, you hear a lot of that, especially in family of color type situations. So maybe Valentina heard that and unfortunately waited until her father died for her to want to fully become the person that she wants to become. So with her saying to me that she's going to transition slowly, I feel like this is also maybe in the back of her mind, she still is thinking about those traumatic situations that she had to endure from maybe something her father said. So she's going through the years of therapy to work through whatever it is that she's got to work through, those deep rooted situations that a lot of us bury down deep. And once we get to the root of the problem, then you can continue, then you can really flourish to become the butterfly that you was destined to be. So I say, Valentina, definitely take all the time you need. One of the things I've been lucky about is, like I told y'all, when I was coming up in the scene in New York and going to places like Esquilita, and then of course what was mentioned in the previous thing, no parking. A lot of the urban clubs, Chi Chi, Two Potato, a lot of the bars and clubs that we had in New York, I was able to come across a lot of different walks of life where you would see the butch queens and the femme queens and the trans girls and all that other stuff. And you would see like, yeah, these trans girls with big boobs and they got the surgeries of, the lips, the big lips and the big breasts and they just full on feminine. And there's like things you never even thought in your lifetime that you would actually witness or see. And being a part of that world was just so unique to be around that. Now they're trying to make a mockery of it and trying to use that as a scapegoat for political whatever. But to me, that was just like the special part about being in the community, being around all these unique individuals and seeing a lot of those Latin trans girls and stuff. So yeah, maybe they don't have the vision, the representation and stuff. But now because of social media, because of Drag Race, because of these things, this is the new generation of getting that representation. Whereas when I was a kid, I could just go out to the piers in New York. I can go into the bars and the clubs and be around that and witness the things that a lot of the younger generation, unfortunately, is not able to get to be a part of until they could get to be a certain age. So they have to live vicariously through whoever is the representation on their TV screens. So good luck to you, Valentina. I'll definitely be rooting for you on the sidelines and all that good stuff. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding what Valentina had to say about her taking her sweet time transition? And I'm here for it. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.